Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Atson Offer Studio and the Wade and Carter Show on a beautiful Friday morning here in beautiful downtown Victoria, Texas. A little bit of fog driving in, so be careful if you're in the South Texas area. Probably a little bit fog no matter where you are, but welcome to the show and glad you're here. Thanks for joining us. Ash, Brent, Commander,
howdy.
All here. Wade and Carter weather brought to you by the great folks at AT Deerlam Hayfeed and Ranch Services. Stop on by, talk to Jackie. She's got stuff for your mosquito problem in the yard. The 21-7-14 Wade and Carter blend is still available. In fact, she told me that's all anybody comes and asks for. They don't ask for fertilizer. They don't ask for the 21-7-14. They ask for the Wade and Carter blend.
That's awesome. And I'll tell you that I went out yesterday and they made it idiot proof, which is perfect for me. I buy a little 4-box of ampules of Bifin, and you just literally, you cut it. It's like making Kool-Aid.
Don't drink it
for death. It's like making Guyana punch. You just put it in your pump up sprayer, add a gallon of water. And I walked around, and Cody, the mosquitoes dehydrate so quickly because they're skeletal the way they are. Just they've got to have blood all the time, right? Little vampires. And I just walk around and spray underneath the hedges, and it just kills them all.
Is it safe for other animals?
It's safe, no problem for dogs.
Let it dry.
Pets. Yeah, let it dry. You don't want your dog to take a shot of it,
but an hour later they're good.
Yeah, and I just walked around, and I'll do that again today, and then this weekend we just won't have any mosquitoes.
Does it mess up the hedges?
Not at all.
Oh, cool.
So it's no Roundup effect.
Yeah.
And it's nothing like.
But if you don't get the hedges, you've wasted your time.
Yeah, because they just go underneath and they hang out. If you'll take time and get down and look, you'll see mosquitoes just hanging out under the leaves of your hawthorn or whatever.
Like bats in the belfry.
Absolutely. And I just go and spray it all and they're gone. And little trivia, mosquitoes in general are not nomadic. So they don't leave your neighbor's yard and come to your yard. If you get rid of the ones in your yard, you get rid of most of the problems. 72 degrees under cloudy, sunny skies in Victoria, Texas, heading to a high today of 90. So it's a beautiful day. West High School having their graduation tonight. Caden graduating this evening. Isn't that unbelievable?
So is he moving out tomorrow?
No, but he now eats on a
Sunday.
He's on a day-to-day contract. He eats on a paper plate. Like we're all eating at the table, and Caden's plate is paper. But
and not Chinette.
No. You buy and this is girl math. You can either buy the Chinette, and let's just say they're 15 cents a piece, or you can buy the really cheap ones, and they're like 6 cents a piece. But you have to have three of them together.
To carry anything, right?
Just to not leak.
Now it costs 18 cents instead of 15. It's girl math.
Yeah. Scott Tomko, Ricky King, Bobby Leister on the podium this morning. Welcome everybody in on the
Mark Kurtz.
Noble Network on Magic 95.9 FM, the mothership. Everybody on Facebook and YouTube as well. Like and share if you're on Facebook, and like and subscribe if you're on YouTube. I've noticed our followers on Facebook
it's going way up.
Yeah, we're pushing almost 4,000. So let's
get
it over 4,000. Share it amongst your friends. Let's get that number up there.
We always give a big tip of the hat.
We can get 2 cents from Facebook and royalties if we can get it there.
The Atzenhofer dealerships, and for everything that they do as our studio sponsor for over 100 years. They've been a South Texas tradition, and Atzenhofer is going very strong. Very, very proud of our association. And I tell people, it's not like a self-deprecating or a false humility. I'm not sure that Ash and I do anything ever, except I will tell you that his car of the week consistently sells very quickly. But the Atzenhofer dealership doesn't need Wade and Carter. I mean, they've been here for 100 years, and I don't flatter myself that we sell Chevrolets. But I will tell you that what it does show you is that a dealership who doesn't need us takes the time to promote a format for you. That's what they're doing, is helping provide this format where Ron Koshin can come in and talk about events. Where just yesterday, and a real special tip of the cap to Clayton Helt and Chris and the folks at SCT Building Systems and what else? White Wing Materials. Anyway, they've got a bunch of companies. But Just
Coastal
yesterday,
landscape.
we got to deliver 2 checks to Christ Kitchen for $500 each. So $1,000 coming from that organization, that conglomerate of companies, $1,000 to go feed Victoria's needy. And that is something that Wade and Carter has been blessed to do. We can generate that. I think about folks like Torrin Bales. I think about Bob Constantine, the folks that are always there. John Paul,
Kelly Fromme,
and I'm
DJ
not
Nelson,
don't want to
Alan Miller.
don't want to leave anybody out, but just the idea that those folks are always there.
P. Strauss.
And P. Strauss for sure, willing to lend a hand, and I think that becomes an annual event. Cody was in. He showed up early, came back 8, left. He said that was a great event. Yeah,
I did my part.
he did. You did. You were there manning that.
Made sure we weren't going to have
that-
too many tacos.
That easy up that should have been called a complicated up.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, it was easy getting down.
What are you going to show us?
Well,
about
I was
that
just going
car?
to show you my That's an Offer used car of the week. It's this nice Cadillac XT4. It's a 2022 model.
You know who I see in there?
31 grand, and you know what? It's only got like 26,000 miles.
I
This thing's
see a
in
young
great
girl
shape.
driving that off to college.
Yep, that's exactly.
And it's safe. It's reliable.
Yeah, let's
That's a
get
nice little car.
No,
20
try to get-
26,000?
26,000 miles. Trying to get to the interior on this thing, but maybe
It's probably black leather.
No, gray. There we go.
It looks nice. It's a nice, clean unit.
It is nice car.
That's an offer for all your vehicular needs.
Stop on by. It's right there in the used car lot.
I make my car payments. I feel like I've got vehicular cancer. You know, I feel like I've got it.
PSA test will not detect that.
Right.
There's P. Strauss checking in. Lisa Poole, Stephanie Connie.
Is
Andrew
P. Strauss
Alvarez.
in Texas or is he in?
I think he's here. Yeah.
Okay, good.
Tammy
good.
Keeling, David Glass, Linda Chris, Scott Tomko, Greg Garcia. Good morning, Tammy Williams, saying congrats to Ganado and Shiner softball teams winning state titles. Good for
Wow.
them. John Anderson checking in. Wendy Hughes Garcia, Mark Zapata, Junior,
Hi, Junior.
Sherry Jacobs. Hi, Marina.
Hi, Marina.
Scott Snow says the hefty plates are the one. There's Zed
Yeah,
Stewart. It's
hefty.
been a
Hi,
while.
Zed.
Catherine, Texas. Good morning.
Saw her yesterday.
Jack Daniels. Good morning.
Jack, thank you. This is this year's Purple Heart sponsor shirt for the fishing tournament that was down in POC, and we had a great experience
There's
there.
the semi-retired Monty Howard. Good to see you, Monty. David Ballard. Monty's up this early this morning, probably drinking coffee. on
You know,
the
Scott
back patio.
Tomko mentioned that he misses, or it seems odd to him that we don't have a music intro anymore. We may
can
work
get
on that.
Cody on that. Yeah.
Hey, there's my brother-in-law. Hi, David Ballard. Hope you're doing well.
Katina Arterberry. Yeah, Cody
Yeah.
nodded his head. We'll have one for Monday.
Yep.
I may even dabble into the AI and get the data center fired up here in Victoria
You're going
County
to talk
just
to
for that.
Grok?
Yeah.
I don't know enough
I don't-
about that.
Yeah, just
Space.
stop talking.
Yeah, I don't know enough about that space.
I don't know
Grok
if that's
can't do
better.
music.
If that's better suited with ChatGTP or Claude.
I think you should use Songer. The
Songer?
Songer AI.
Okay,
thank
moving
you.
on
Got
there
it.
from the Nerd Fest.
Speaking of Nerd Fest, Script Spelling Bee held yesterday
I don't want
in
it.
Washington, D.C. I kid. These kids are so
Give me a
smart.
word, any word. Go on.
Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
It's not a word. SUPER.
Time's up.
Can you use that word in a sentence? Can you give me its language of origin?
No. But the
Prob-
winner yesterday, kid named Shrey Parikh.
Spell that.
Parikh.
Paprika.
It's because he's looking at it on the
No,
screen.
I'm not. I'm looking at the Spurs score.
Spurs
They won
dominate.
yesterday.
And that's your NBA update.
That's all we care about. They're going to Game 7, by the way.
Are you going to tell him about the kid? Or
Yeah, I'm
just-
getting there. I was trying to pull it
leave
up.
him out there.
We're all riveted
Yeah.
to our seats waiting on the spelling Jeep.
Yeah,
Tell us
14
about,
years old. It went to a spell off.
he was a quiet boy, participated in spelling bees.
And in 90 seconds, he correctly spelled 32 words.
What did he say? It, may,
Have you ever watched the Scrubs Spelling Bee?
No. It's right there by the Westminster Dog Show to me.
You don't know what you're missing. This riveting TV.
I do watch that at times.
Yeah. The runner-up got 25 words right during the spell-off. I mean, think about that.
It's just a rapid-fire deal.
Yeah. 2 kids, 58 words in 90 seconds between the two of them. That's pretty darn good.
That's pretty good.
Shrey
32 words in 90 every 3 seconds.
Yeah.
They weren't long words.
Oh, they're probably pretty tough, though. Trying to see what the final word was.
I think that kid was like sponsored by Ritalin. He's just up there just deadpanning it. Manipulate, MANIPULATE.
He becomes the 31st of the past 37 champions with Indian heritage.
I don't think that's that's not luck. That's a trend. The Indians are good at spelling.
Yeah.
Not so good at talking on the phone.
Last year, he did not take part in the competition, but in 2024 finished 3rd. The champion Shrey did. So he took a year off to regroup and I guess make sure that, he was committed and it's what he wanted to do. Kind of pulled a Bjorn Borg there. Took some
Next
time
year
off.
He's competing against Joey, what's his name, in the
Chestnut
hot dog eating contest.
Right.
Who's allowed to actually compete. This guy, I guess, got a battery charge against him, speaking of Joey Chestnut, but he's allowed to leave the state, and I don't even know what state he's from. But
it's got to be from New York, right?
Somewhere around there, New Jersey maybe, but apparently he's allowed to compete in the Nathan's hot dog eating contest on July 4th, even though he has that.
Is it like in Vegas or
somewhere?
somewhere?
An ankle monitor or something. No, it's on Long Island, or it's on Coney Island. I mean, so
nothing says commitment like an ankle monitor.
No. But apparently he, yeah. What kind of characters are hot dog eating contests attracting?
Right. Andrew Alvarez with the stereotype. They have to spell well to be able to code.
Ethical hacking is the way to go. There's a lot of folks.
Very interesting coming in this morning, listening to a British Breitbart correspondent named Oliver Lane. And you can find him at Oliver_Lane on X. And
very, very odd, not odd, but boy, how quickly we've gone from X, formerly known as Twitter. Nobody even know. If you said Twitter to somebody, most people don't even know what that is anymore.
Yeah,
it's Twitter.
Yeah, exactly. But Lane talking about the misunderstanding that allowing people to wholesale cross your border and vote doesn't favor the party that actually did that for folks. Apparently in England, when they had their gates wide open, which they've now desperately tried to seal, if you came in, you got to vote. And the idea was, think if you bring it back to the U.S., like the Democrats are like, well, we'll let them all in. And even though these people are illegal, when they have their children who get automatic birthright citizenship, they will be beholden to the Democrat Party. And the Democrats have shown that they're willing to trade sovereignty for power. They would rather be in charge of what's left of the United States than preserve what is the United States. And I don't think that's necessarily a put down. I think it's just a political strategy that I can prove. I mean, it's observable, right? They let 20 million people with no jobs, no money, many of them with criminal records. They allowed them to come wholesale into the country
and scatter,
betting on. And by the way, it wasn't a totally bad idea because, as you know, as you've heard here, the United States has reached a point where we're no longer self-repopulating. We are actually a declining population. People are dying quicker in this country than they are being replaced.
Well, but you don't think if we would have changed the messaging a little bit and urge Americans to have more children so that we have a stable workforce going forward, instead of, we'll just bring them all here to do the jobs that Americans don't want to do, which, again, go drive through the Midwest. And I challenge you to find non-Americans doing the jobs the Democrats tell you Americans don't want to do.
That's absolutely
It's a bunch
correct.
of BS. They're doing it.
But the problem is, the challenge is, so bear with me on this because it's not a racist statement. You see, we're quickly approaching, and he pointed out that England will be a white English minority by 2060. I mean, in theory, that's in my lifetime. By 2060, there will be more in their case.
Better start walking 30,000 steps a day.
I was going to say that seems like a stretch.
In their case, there'll be more Muslims in England than there are white Englishmen by 2060. Now, here, it's not a problem, but the reality is that will be that when that flip occurs, it'll most likely be the Latino population. We'll have more folks from south of the border, if you will, culturally. They will have infiltrated to the point, and that's neither good nor bad. It's just, it is what it is. I believe that our Latino and Hispanic population assimilates and becomes extremely American. It's not like all of a sudden we're going to be Guatemala like we have
till the World Cup.
Right. But like we have in Minnesota, I told Ash this morning, if I'd have told you just 15 years ago that we would have a naturalized Somalian woman who got here of real questionable means, that she would be in the United States Congress and that the Muslims would have a major influence on politics in Minnesota, you would have laughed at me.
Well, and this is the problem in England. It's the Labour Party thought that they would get there and they would all be loyal to the Labour Party.
And they're not. And they're not. Starting their own parties.
And they're starting their own parties that protect their interests only and reflect their interests only. It's not English as a country priorities. It's right. Muslim as a religion priorities.
That's right.
And it's causing issues in England, and that's where the problem is.
That's right. It's going to get worse. It's going to get worse.
Ricky King says he remembers when he was younger, they were talking about the world going to be overpopulated, so people quit having a lot of kids. I think there was some pressure on that. I do. I do believe that was some of the propaganda being put out by the governments here and the government education, because who didn't stop having kids? The rest of the world.
No, that's right.
The non-Western civilization world didn't stop having kids. I question the numbers out of China, because if you have a one-child policy, I don't know how you double your population all the time.
Didn't. People saying now that China, now I do believe India does have the numbers. They really do. There's well over 1 billion people over there. I'm not so sure China isn't, to a degree, some smoke and mirrors. I can remember when I was a kid, my dad speaking of that when he was in the service, that the understanding was that they could line at the birth rate they had. This was the propaganda, that at the birth rate China had, you could line up soldiers 100 across and just march them off the cliff into the sea, and that there would be young people filling in the back, and that it would never end. And the idea was that their population was more than sustaining itself, and that if you ever got into a war with them, they would just keep throwing bodies at you like a la D-Day forever, and you would never be able to actually beat them. Yeah.
Junior says he's betting he'll see a civil war in England. How ironic.
I don't disagree. I think you're going to see, and Starmer, is that his name, under major pressure from the Labour Party, to the point that we believe that he will be replaced at some point in his term as prime minister, just here in the near future.
Yeah, and it won't be the Tories that probably, I don't know.
No, it'll be another Labour guy, because
but even still, I don't know what the Tories have. Nigel Farage, I don't know that he has support that he has with the Conservatives. But
Linda Christ, always looking at the bright side. Hispanic America would not be so bad. The food would be phenomenal. Speaking of that, today's your day to get in. Chicken Fried Friday. Get into Veracruz today for a fantastic chicken fried steak, amazing homemade gravy.
Last day of the week.
Yeah, they do a tremendous job. Veracruz, the freshest meats, the best queso, guac, salsa, all fresh, homemade chips. They are absolutely the best. Allen's Wrecker Service, 578-6300. Allen reminding you to be safe this weekend. Stay on the roads. If you end up in a ditch, it's going to be wet. Don't sink your car. Call Allen's Wrecker Service, 578-6300. USA Foundation Repair. All this moisture coming in underneath your pier and beam home, when it starts shifting, when the doors won't close, when the cracks appear above the door frames, call 578-HOME. Let Charlie Garcia come out and lift. I was going to Wonder Bra it. Lift and separate your home. No, they can help you easily. USA Foundation Repair. Chopping block. What do you got, Ash?
Oh, look at that brisket.
That looks amazing.
Yeah, doesn't it? I like those electric knives. I always knew it was a special dinner when Grandma busted out the electric knife.
You want to talk about it? Because our folks can't see the electric knife, Ash.
It's radio for your mind.
Yeah. Remember those old great videos of electric knives just hanging there, folks? We're working on it.
Take a leg off a cow with it.
You buy 6 burger patties at the chopping block, you get a free pack of buns. So there you go.
There you go. You buy the meat, they give you the buns.
Yep. And let's see what else they got going on.
Fantastic.
They got lots of
hamburger.
boudin. They got lots of SPJ in. You're going to want the salt, pepper, Jesus.
It's a
Best
fantastic
blend of all of the garlic, salt, and pepper blends. That's the best.
Think of it as like a seasonal for pretty much everything.
Except with just garlic, salt, and pepper.
There you go. Welcome back to the program. Live from the Atzenhofer studio. Tammy Williams, I think population stopped. Can you see Tammy right now? She's got that one Marlboro light hanging out. She's just one hand in it in that blazer, shifting gears, 4 on the floor. I think population stopped because what?
A, it's too expensive to raise 5 kids.
Right. B, fertility is problematic, and
IVF is expensive.
Well, and not to mention that
I
you don't need 5 kids anymore. Men used to have kids until they had a boy for sure. And in general, you needed kids in the rural America. You needed to have somebody to go out and feed the chickens, slop the hogs, muck the stalls. You had to have people in your family to work the land.
Infant and childhood fertility rates mortality rates were much higher too. So you had to keep having kids because chances are 2 of your 6 weren't going to live past 10 years old. That was just the reality of it.
Right.
Not trying to be insensitive on it. That was the reality of it.
Did your parents have any kids that lived?
No, none.
Astros update. The Astros Minute brought to you by the First State Bank of Louise. Can't overemphasize, it's more than a nickname or a tagline. They are the friendliest bank anywhere.
Yeah.
They really are the nicest people. It's an organization that top to bottom is committed to being friendly. Like when you walk in, it's like walking in and there's like 8 Brother Garys that work there. They all welcome you in. They all thank you for coming in. Free checking, free savings. We put money the other day. I always think it's a good parenting move. The other day, Rylan said, "Dad, can you put my money in the bank?" I said, "I can."
Would have been a better parenting move if you took him with you.
I skimmed a 20 and put the rest in. I mean, there was
lunch out of
like
the
an
deal.
Uber fee, yeah. But I put the money in the bank for him. It's awesome. They love to watch their money grow, being very responsible. Astros win last night, 5-1.
Couple of home runs early.
Spencer Arrighetti get that win?
Yeah, he did.
He's now 7-1. I'm telling you, very quietly, kind of on a Cy Young pace. Going into the game, opponents were batting 169 against Arrighetti, and he had a 1.32 ERA.
It went up to 1.34 after yesterday.
Still, he gave up a single home run late.
Yeah, but if he would have pitched the 7th inning, he probably would have knocked it down one.
A 1.3 what?
1.34.
That is an amazing ERA. I mean, we're sneaking up on the halfway point in the season. He's 7-1. He's got 8 decisions.
Tied for 5th in wins. When's the last time 7 wins got? I mean, I remember at this point of the year when you're getting to this point, you're 10 wins. You're talking Cy Young, not 7.
When does parity in professional sports become rampant mediocrity? in professional sports.
If you're in the American West Division.
That's fair. That is fair. Some highlights. Pitch 4 of the game. Yeah. Jeremy Pena hits one to the second deck.
Yeah, I think Paredes hit one as well early. And
a line drive that got out as well on his first pitch of the night against Nathan Eovaldi. And so here's the deal. Eovaldi is a fantastic pitcher. In fact, he would fit so nicely into our rotation. Yordan Alvarez was like 12 for 23 lifetime against Eovaldi. 23 is not a small number of at-bats. He was hitting .522 against Nathan Eovaldi. Pounder brisket these days anywhere from $30 to $35 a pound, depending on the beef. Cooked brisket. I don't know how much brisket is.
I just let somebody else cook it.
Yeah. Sure.
Scott Bizarre says, imagine your phone bill with 5 kids. We have 4, thankfully, before cell phones were a necessity. I mean, I get it. I mean, there's a lot of plans that you can find, $25 a month if you really wanted to. But I don't agree with kids that, I don't know that you need a cell phone before junior high at the earliest, and that's still too early in my opinion.
I think it's tragic that you see it most often at the grocery store, and I mean, I'm not judging, I'm observing. It's lazy parenting, right? When you see the kid who's
one
baby,
2.
not even toddler size. This kid might walk, and the kid's just like scrolling through mom's phone, looking at pictures and stuff. I get it. It's just an entertainment device. I mean, maybe back in the day, mom might have had a little book for a kid to read at the grocery store. Okay. Now you just give them your phone.
Yeah.
But
mom used to just grab the Oreos and open them up and give us a couple Oreos each and then pay for the whole package.
And if you eat the whole package, then you don't have to pay for it.
Just puts it on the shelf, right?
Yeah. We weren't allowed to eat the whole package.
What was the movie? What was it? Was it Easy Rider that had Joe Namath in it as well?
I got you.
Anyway, I remember a scene where he goes into the store and goes down and grabs a loaf of bread, and he walks over and finds the lunch meat, and he just like opens that, and he makes himself a sandwich. He's walking around the store, and
CC and Company?
CC and Company, thank you. And he just eats a sandwich as he walks around the local market and then walks out.
Does he pay for a sandwich?
Of course not. He's Joe Namath. He didn't have to. The toast of New York.
I don't know. I'm looking right now online. Untrimmed, $4.46 a pound.
You gonna order your brisket online? Have it shipped to you?
No.
I'd order it online from the chopping block without any.
I would
thought.
too, and you can.
That wouldn't bother me a bit.
I used AI. I just burned another data center, but apparently, according to AI, a well-known Texas grocery store, because I don't know what they're selling for at the chopping block. But HEB has them for $4.96 to $10.49 a pound.
HEB,
depending on the grade and the trimming. That's done. So there you go. I mean,
I just like the characters and the service that you get at the chopping block, and it's not just you advertise for them. Of course, you get care and service. If you walk in, they're extremely helpful. And what the other thing is, and this does matter, is that everybody there has tried everything there.
Yeah.
So some guys will say, well, that chili pekin, I mean, it's got a little bite to it. But if you really want one that's got some heat, well, this one has a little habanero in it, and they're good. Yeah, Brian Small said, did I short circuit, or did we flip from Nathan Eovaldi to brisket in the same sentence? I'd love to have Nathan Eovaldi here in Houston. Can you imagine if I could run out?
I better put that banner back up. We're not done.
If I could run out Hunter Brown, Nathan Eovaldi, then the
Spencer Arrighetti,
and then the Amai kid, and this Astros team,
just 2.5 back in the AL West because the AL West sucks.
There you have it. Who did you say? Schwarmer is leading the major leagues in home runs, but our own Yordan Alvarez has had like 5 in the last 3 games.
He's right behind.
He's got like 21. And not only that, he's batting well over 300.
307.
And so maybe that's not well over, but it's a couple of strikeouts over 300. And he kills left-handed pitching better than anybody else in the big leagues. So when you've got a big man, if you make a mistake, he may hit it 500 feet. If you pitch him outside, he'll just go with it and punch it into left, and he'll take his single. He hits for power. He hits for average. And you can't bring in a lefty to upset him because he hits lefties as good or better than he hits right-handed pitching.
Yeah.
He's very, very, very special.
I'm just going to.
Thank you, Brian. It says it's evolving.
Yeah,
not
you
Evaldi.
were reading it as you were spelling.
I was hooked on phonics. Look, I want to get it right because if I'm in the spelling bee, Eovaldi, Evaldi. Yeah. Is it Italian, you think?
I'm going to guess. Yeah.
He's probably from the Dominican. Who are we kidding?
He's from the Bronx.
Last night he was cursing in Spanish after Jeremy Pena hit one about 450.
I don't know where he's from, but I will knock on wood.
Cody, Eovaldi, Nathan Eovaldi. Where's he from?
Definitely Italy.
You see, he opines. It's like if
I'm going to guess he's from California.
If Chat GPT had a personality, it would be Cody. Like you ask him questions, he's looking for the real answer.
I just hope Jordan can stay healthy for the year.
B Small says, I look like I just rolled in from a bass tournament. Actually, it'd be a redfish
He was
tournament.
born in Houston.
He
but
was born
That's not what you
in
asked.
Oklahoma. Was
No,
his
he's
mother's
definitely-
name Thelma Lou?
He's
Betty
definitely
Liz?
he's definitely of Italian heritage.
Yeah.
Stephanie County says a lot of parents these days are looking for old style flip phones for their kids. No internet, just calling and texting.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you got to get good. You got to use those. You got to get good on the texting and that. Unless you get like the full keyboard, you have to learn how to.
So
hit,
you know
like,
you got
hit
the
the A or the number 2 for your ABC
you got the VCS and then you had the
beta,
Beta. What was the other phone before the iPhone?
the BlackBerry.
Yeah, the BlackBerry. People were so hooked on it, they called it a Crackberry.
Because it was the only one with the keyboard.
Yeah, true story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And data
Betty Lee Thelma Liz. Thank you, Monty Howard. Monty Howard probably sipping a cocktail neat early this morning. He's
he might be having an Irish coffee this morning.
so he's an architect of some renown, actually, at least to him. And he told me the other day that he was semi-retired, which means he's just between design
Yeah,
gigs.
exactly. B Small says he never had a VCS.
No,
A VCR.
VCR,
I think he meant VHS and said VCS.
VHS.
Yeah, I think so
yeah.
too. But
We knew what you meant. Most of us did. B
Do
Small
we?
apparently did.
I'm hooked on phonics, but I'm not bogged down in the details.
oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh, Blue Origin rocket. You see the video of this thing? I want to see
Yeah.
if I can share this screen.
Are you
This is
kidding
from-
me? I saw it light up the
Yeah.
eastern sky.
Yeah, no kidding.
Saw it early this morning. I said, "Oh, was that
From your
Formosa?"
front porch, right?
Yeah.
Many people did last night. I'll share the screen. This is from CNN. This is just
I don't
a
think-
looping video of this.
If
Blue
I were an
Origin
astronaut,
rocket.
I would have no problem. Like, let me go on the next flight.
Now's the time you go on the next flight because they're going to have all the kinks worked out.
So apparently they were doing a test firing. They were not going to send this rocket off the
No.
pad. They had it firmly anchored down, but they tested it, something to do with testing the rocket itself, and it completely destroyed itself.
Yeah.
Look at that video. It's just crazy.
Yeah. Eventually, this rocket, not now, but this rocket was supposed to send 48 low orbit satellites into Earth for Amazon's LEO internet system, which is to compete with Starlink. But I think the whole Blue Origin project might be in jeopardy after this because
Is that
they
Jeff
also,
Bezos?
Yeah, that's Bezos's deal.
So why do billionaires do this? Are they looking to roll it up and sell it to NASA or something?
Well, yeah, but I think he had some NASA. I think he had some NASA contracts or agreements.
You think
that
Elon-
Elon's going to have to pick up his slack now.
But do you think Elon kind of chuckled to himself like Neener?
Oh, yeah.
Neener.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Well, I mean, think about it. He's got probably the most reliable internet service, certainly satellite based, because I think he's the only one. And Bezos was trying to get into that space with Leo. And he's trying to get into the rocket space with his Blue Origin. Dumb name, by the way.
Yeah.
And he can't.
But you made the observation that Elon is on pace to be the world's first trillionaire. When what's it called? His SpaceX goes public.
Yeah.
And you pointed out that SpaceX has never been in the black. It's always been either government or Elon subsidized.
I think 1 year it might have had a profit, and that was because of some tricky
$50
accounting.
Yeah, they took some depreciation and yada yada yada.
But no, it's never, even with all the government work, it's never been. It's not to say that all of his other things that are associated with it, like Starlink and everything else. I mean, here's the economies of scale, because Starlink, I think when it first launched, it was almost $1,000 to get all the equipment, and then you were paying like $100 a month or something for the Starlink service. They've dropped that below $300 now.
Yeah, it's real reasonable now.
You're a lot more politically mature than me, so I'm going to give this to you. Let me give you this point. This is from CNN. It says the U.S. and Iran reached a tentative agreement to open the Strait of Hormuz and start nuclear talks, according to U.S. officials on Thursday. President Trump still needs to give his approval, though, and the situation remains tense in the region. The idea being that Trump has said, I'll give you another 60-day ceasefire while we talk. Look, we can spin this any way you like. I am now of the opinion that Iran seems to hold more of the cards than we want them to in this situation. I said it before, if the president doesn't walk out of Iran with all of the enriched uranium, the mission has been, in my opinion, in total, a failure.
And that's the sticking point right now, is Iran's nuclear stockpile. As we talked about the other day, you need hundreds of pounds of this stuff.
And they've got it.
To make a bomb. You can't just take one little piece of uranium,
right,
a nugget, so to speak, like a gold nugget, like you were mining gold,
right,
and enrich it and have yourself a nuclear bomb. It's not enough. And
so why would you? Here's the deal. The quick hits. Have they ever been more vulnerable than they are now, Iran?
Probably not.
Okay, so either you get the uranium,
1979 apparently,
or you bomb the hell out of them until you get the uranium. You've already, if you listen to the pundits, you've already lost the midterms. You're not trying to get reelected, Donald Trump. Go ahead and finish the mission. This idea that we have reached an agreement with Iran because we really trust them to keep their word. I mean, Barack Obama gave them just pallets of cash.
Well, it was cash,
and they were using it
from them,
but they were using it to fund ne'er-do-wells.
But here's the thing: I've heard through these negotiations, the money that the assets that we've taken from them as punishment. President Trump's ready to give that back to them too at the end of all of this. If they
and that's fine if they give us the uranium.
970 pounds of it, apparently. They keep saying is near weapons grade, but that's the sticking point. Iran doesn't want to give it up.
Well, then you know what? Then we're still at an impasse, and the beatings will continue until morale improves. I still can't figure out, for the respect of the 13 American service members who have lost their lives, why you would stop before the mission is complete. You were willing to send B-2 bombers in the middle of the night to blow up a lab. You risked billions of dollars in equipment and multiple dozens of American lives. Now you've had a conflict. He refuses to call it a war, and that's politics. That's like using the word insurrection.
We've had a downturn rather than a recession.
Right.
Similar phrasing.
Similar thing. And we may all say, hey, look, if we can reach an agreement, it'd be great. And we lose 13 people. I mean, that's not even a bad weekend in Chicago. And we go on about our business. But if you leave without the uranium,
except we've lost 13 better people than we lose in a weekend in Chicago.
True. If you want me to help Chicago, I just fly in 9mm ammo and parachute it into the ghetto and let them kill each other. Solves a lot of entitlement issues, and abortion clinics would close up. It's great.
That was one of the solutions for Iran, is drop a bunch of weapons into the hands of the people and see what happens.
Can you imagine like some Iranian woman walking around with an AK? I'm sorry, I just killed 2 of my kids. They're not ready for that. But I would just look, I get why the UAE and the Saudis are saying, don't blow up the power plants and stuff, Donald. You had a great idea long ago. Blow up the transmission lines. If a power plant glows in the distance and there's no wires for you to receive electricity, is it really generating electricity? I don't know. Just go over there with SEAL Team 26 and blow up all the substations. That's what I would do.
See, never missing anything.
How much of SpaceX is United States government funded?
Lots.
Okay.
I don't think there's anything. I mean, he's, the bidding on space contracts probably down to just a couple of companies, right? SpaceX, Boeing, maybe.
Yeah.
Whoever built components for the space shuttle.
I don't know what Scott said up above as a Rangers fan, but Patrick Strauss makes a statement that is emphatically correct. Scott, Nathan Eovaldi cannot hold Nolan Ryan's jockstrap.
I think he was born in Alvin. That's why. They're both from Alvin, Texas. Yeah.
He might be Nolan's love child, but he is certainly not in the rarefied air of the great Nolan Ryan.
No.
Somebody just added, I bet you Bill Posey could figure out how to Andrew Alvarez said, hey, I bet Bill Posey could figure it out, and I bet he could too.
What were with all the fires and explosions yesterday? The Blue Origin one wasn't the only one. There was a fire at Penn Station yesterday. 5 people injured. Train services in New York City.
It was a bad explosion in Oak Cliff, Oak Cliff area of Dallas.
They were. Last I saw, I'll try to get to that real quick here because that was pretty.
So while he's looking that up, SpaceX has spent roughly $80 billion, and the government has spent $20 billion of it, so a quarter. However, it says that its IPO is now worth up to $2 trillion, but I'm finding actual cost to be
is that just
which is amazing when you
crazy.
Consider that this is a company that has never made a profit or maybe one profit in its entire history.
Is it the novelty of you being Elon Musk's partner?
Well, I think there's some emotion. I think there's that part of this. It's speculative, kind of like oil at times. But I think the fact is they're the only ones. They're the only major player in the space game. So who else are you gonna bet on?
Right.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to give the cost, because I didn't know if the IPO really was
accurate. So if the other 3/4 of the money came from Elon, my gut says you could probably bet that at some point it'll be valuable because he doesn't waste money.
And don't forget, but he takes advantage. And don't forget, he got a lot of government money in California
for building
underground tunnels for vehicles. Self-driving vehicles.
Yeah. Never happened.
And it never happened because it wasn't viable. But the California government wasted a lot of money. And give Elon credit. Took advantage of a bunch of stupid idiot governors in California who thought that underground cars were the way to go. Self-driving vehicles, so he took their money and built his fortune on it.
So back to Oak Cliff, we had an explosion yesterday at an apartment complex.
Yeah.
At least 3 dead, 5 injured. It makes you wonder if it was a Richard Pryor moment. Somebody put the cookie into the milk, and it blew up. The neighbors reporting they had smelled gas in the area.
Called it in, and crews were responding when the thing went boom, and 5 people injured.
On top of 3 dead.
And I'll be honest.
There'll be more.
No, I thought the death toll this morning was going to be a lot higher because they were thinking multiple fatalities, and not that three's not significant.
It's not a very big. We say apartment complex. It looks like it's probably
it was 2 stories.
Yeah, like 10, 12 apartments. It's not like it's a like we think of apartment complex here as a sprawling assemblage of buildings.
But the death toll could increase. I think they're still searching through the rubble. But this thing, there was nothing left of it.
Terrible. Are you going to try to catch any of the World Cup games anywhere?
I don't think I can afford the tickets.
Is that going to be the deal? Are they well, it is to the world, right? Much like the Super Bowl. To the world, probably the most watched sports event. I just don't know.
Yeah, and then there was another one. There was a paper mill in the state of Washington yesterday that exploded, and I think at least one person killed, 9 others missing. It just
was that
like
when that vessel imploded, fell down upon itself?
I think so. Yeah,
they were cleaning it. There were people, but 1 killed and 9 missing. If you're missing in this day and age, you're probably dead.
Well, especially the chemical explosion like that.
Yeah, vaporized. It's sad stuff.
Yeah. But it just, I don't know, it just seemed to be that. But yeah, I think New York and New Jersey now investigating FIFA for their ticket pricing for the World Cup, which FIFA has screwed this up from the get-go. They were supposed to have a bunch of tickets for fans. They didn't have enough. Then they pulled them back, and then they re-released them because they said we're going to do better pricing. And then I think they did better pricing, but they didn't release as many tickets as they had promised. And they do the dynamic pricing. Nobody wants to go watch, Ghana and Zaire, right?
Are you kidding me? With Zava? I can't wait to go.
But, but U.S. games, the ticket prices are through the roof.
Football is life. Take this break and I'll be right back.
Have we heard any more about the Ebola breakout?
That's one of the things that they're worried about with the World
Right.
Cup. Yeah, we'll get to that in a second.
Yeah.
Palace Bingo, where friends meet friends. We haven't set it yet, but we will set a date for June and look forward to you being there. The last time we were there, 4 out of the 10 games, so 40% of the games are won by the Wade and Carter faithful that were there, and 57% of the Wade and Carter faithful were the winners. So there you go. We had the majority of our table won.
Feels
More
like
people
a lot
want.
of- Feels like a lot of math.
We had a better winning margin than the Bond did here.
There you go.
So, but anyway, come on out to Palace Bingo where friends meet friends. You don't have to wait for Wade and Carter night. You can go tonight. In fact, I think you can go twice tonight.
What?
You could go at 7:30 and you can go for the late night bingo as well. Fewer games late night, but the purses are bigger. Paravita Wellness, get in, get healthy. Going to be a beautiful morning on Sunday to go enjoy brunch at the Vita Cafe, and you'll be able to enjoy that on the patio. But a very, very nice brunch menu at the Vita Cafe, plus the regular menu is available as well if you don't want what's on the brunch menu. But and if you just want to grab something and go and take it home for this weekend, go see Erica over at Part of Vita Wellness today, because today is the freezer sale. Anything that's in the freezer, half off.
Be very aware that Lisa Poole may body
camped
check
out.
you.
Yeah, she camped out.
Jack Daniels comes in, much better show than Posey and his dumb guest today. His dumb guest is the regular Emmett Alvarez, who's listening. Good morning, Emmett. You know Emmett's listening. He monitors the program. I haven't seen your buddy Mike Gomez lately.
I have not either.
I hope Mike's doing well. It's interesting. It is always interesting to me that and not those two gentlemen, but people in general, the folks that are on if you say the wrong side, they don't agree with you and they're not in the majority. The 80-20 issues or the 90-10 issues, those people that are in the 10 or the 20, they are so rabidly committed to that position. And I guess it's somewhat defensive. It's like if you say, whatever, transgender folks ought to have abortion rights. Those of us that are sane, we all know that that's stupid talk. It's idiocy. It's lunacy. But yet the people that are for it are saying, why can't you let those people have their dreams? Why do you have to suppress their feelings? That man believes he's a woman, and therefore he is a woman, and he should have affirmative reproductive care. And they're so passionate and they're so logical about it. And that's what I listen to when I hear anybody who is always just 100% committed to being against Donald Trump. Oh, well, he started this forever war in Iran. It's never going to end. It's all Donald Trump's fault. He's a pedophile and he's a rapist. And they're just so committed. They've said it so many times. They use the word insurrection so many times that they honestly believe that the Republic was in danger on January the 6th. They really believe that there was a coup attempt and that at any moment the United States could have flipped and been tyrannically ruled by a despot, dictator. Donald Trump's not going to leave office in 28. I'll be surprised, in all honesty, if Donald Trump lives long enough to leave office in 28. It's just crazy. Okay, good. Peace, Strauss. That's good. That's a good follow-up. He said Mike was posting on Bill's show this morning. Now, what Mike does a good job of, and he's a fine gentleman, is he posts on our show after so that we can't rebut his thoughts with the truth.
Well, yeah, because you and I don't sit here all day and monitor the comments.
Yeah.
And
I don't have to do that anymore?
No, you do. We do.
Okay.
That's what he just said. When you're here, you monitor the loony bin. We just talk about the issues of the day.
But there are folks that get on when they know, because we're not going to. Yeah. I know what I was looking up when you.
I did have someone tell me this week they were trying to be a little bit edgy and said that, that you and I have our perceived quote unquote show and that we don't really have any influence. And then Dawn was like, don't waste your time arguing. The stupid will always be among us. Don't waste your time arguing with it. And I went back and looked, and the article that I was commenting on, it was a couple of days old. And I literally went back and said, look, I could post a picture of Riker the Wonder Dog taking a dump in the front yard and have more engagement than this entire page. So,
but he's cute.
He is cute, and he's conservative.
Yeah. And he doesn't vote.
Well, he's
in another state. He probably could.
He's an illegal.
Yeah. So New Jersey and New York attorneys general announced an investigation into FIFA's ticketing practices for the upcoming World Cup.
See, only in America, right?
They may have misled the public into the locations of their seats. So basically, they're not doing anything that any college has not done when they go and renovate a stadium.
Partial obstructed view. And now there's a snack bar between you and the field.
Yeah. The biggest thing with this is the ticket prices. Fans around the world are mad because
how much are they really? What's a ticket? Can I get a ticket for $200?
Like I said, if you want to go watch Zaire and Ghana play, probably. You want to watch a game that actually
matters.
Somebody you care about? Probably not.
The U.S. versus whoever.
There we go. Let's see. Single game tickets on SeatGeek. Let's see what they're going for here.
Millions of customers served, it said. Let's go to the round of 16.
There you go.
Oh, wow.
Mexico and South Africa, $2,300 a ticket. That's in Guadalajara, by the way. What happened?
So you got to go to Guadalajara. Well, but can you imagine the mayhem, honestly, of being – Mexico is such a proud soccer program.
That's in Mexico City, that game. Actually, this game might be bad. If you want to go down to Mexico, to Guadalajara, South Korea and Czechia for $387 a ticket.
No, that's not bad.
That's actually going to be a pretty good game, to be honest. You can watch the U.S. and Paraguay in L.A. for $1,000 a throw.
That's Estadio Akron.
Yeah.
Akron Stadium. Nice.
Thank you.
I translated that for you.
Yeah,
and you did good.
I'm not going to be a spelling bee champ, but a translation.
Brazil and Morocco in MetLife Stadium in New Jersey, $1,300.
I bet Brazil Morocco is a passionate game to watch.
It'll be all green. The Brazilians will come out for that one.
Roy Kent.
So, Yeah, Norway and Iraq, the cheapest game in Boston on June 16th, $325 a ticket. New Zealand and Iran, $299.
That was a
June
nice little
15th.
tongue.
I'm not
tongue
sure
dabble.
that they roll their R's in Iran, but I get what you're doing.
So,
Portugal versus DR Congo.
yeah,
Is that the?
Democratic Republic of Congo.
That's how you know that they're not democratic and they're not a republic. The new Democrats, better known as the old communists.
Yeah.
England versus Croatia. Croatians coming in
That's good. That'll be a good match,
highly
to be honest.
malnutrition, malnourished. Croatia's a beautiful place, I've been told.
Yeah, that'll be a very good game.
You say Croatia, and I start thinking
Game of
Africa
Thrones.
and dead just people. Yeah,
Why? Croatia's on the Mediterranean.
yeah. I'm saying I was ignorant. I didn't know. Look at there, the Netherlands and Germany are both at NRG in the round of 16. Now that ought to be a great place to watch a soccer match. To set up a pitch.
If you don't get Ebola,
Yeah. I'm just.
That's now on the list of things that the organizers of the World Cup in Houston are preparing for
right?
with their tabletop drills. Ebola. Why are you letting anybody in from anywhere around Sudan? Seriously.
Thank you.
I don't get it. Let's see what else is happening in the world. Where'd this go? I just saw this. Governor Abbott yesterday ordering all Texas public colleges and universities to freeze tuition through the 26-27 academic year. So he's making an early election promise. We're going to hold down your costs of education. Tuition has been frozen in this state since 2023. Unfortunately, the problem with that is cost of delivering education goes up.
Yeah, but here's the problem, or here's a problem. Like in our state universities, Texas, A&M, even Texas Tech, priority tuition should go to Texas residents. And it's not that wonderful. Like UT, if they're only going to let in so many students, they'd love for some of them to be from out of state because they pay more.
Yeah.
But I think priority enrollment should be.
Well, they pay full freight unless they're getting some sort of scholarship, because they can't get grants. They can't get a Texas grant. They can't get Pell, but they could get a scholarship. But still, in order, there's, state schools can't discount tuition. And to get a scholarship, that's dollars in the door to give dollars out. So it's an exchange of money. So it's still money being spent. And they're paying, let's say in-state tuition is $5,000 for a semester and out-of-state's $15,000. Takes 3 in-state kids to make up the 1 out-of-state kid.
So here's a novel idea for you. Both Texas and A&M benefit from the Permanent University Fund, which has exponentially blessed both universities with huge endowments that neither earned. They just happened to be the recipient as prescribed by the legislature. I think Texas lets in roughly 26-27% of the people that apply. A&M much higher at closer to 44-45%. A&M made the commitment under John Sharp to grow. They wanted to be bigger than UT Austin, and they achieved that. To me, it's a watering down of the degree. It becomes somewhat of a diploma factory, although it's still a fine education. And depending on your discipline, if you go into engineering school, that's a totally different game. But I believe that with the endowments that you have, you should greatly, greatly restrict who gets in. And I would say that at both universities, you've got to have elite SAT and preparatory scores. And when you do, your tuition is free, provided by the extreme endowments.
Well, but here's the problem,
At
though.
both
Those
universities.
endowed funds were given for specific purposes and can only be used for those
But not the
specific
permanent
purposes.
university funds.
No, not
and which
no,
go
not
to
that.
the endowment. I mean, there's huge money, huge money. Tuition itself is an afterthought at the university level. It's research money, it's government funding, it's The money, the business of education is off the chain rich. I think you say, that used to be top 10%. Now it's like more like top
8,
7
I think,
at UT Austin. Automatic bid. I think they ought to say top 2%. Automatic bid, no bills.
Here's the problem with that. You've built a model that needs 50,000 students to sustain itself. And if you got that restrictive at UT and A&M, you would never have enough students to pay the bills. And you've built such huge campuses.
One last thought for you. Houston billionaire Tillman Fertitta started out with Willie G's restaurant, grew to Landry's, grew to the whatever the other steakhouses are and all that. Struck a deal to acquire Caesars, like Caesar's Palace, $17.6 billion transaction. He's becoming the next Steve Wynn. He's going to dominate the gaming industry.
Yep.
Wow.
He would become one of the largest gaming operators in the country if the deal cleared regulatory and shareholder approval. Caesar shareholders must vote on it. Does this get through government regulators? You think?
Probably, because it's gambling. It says the all cash equity portion of the transaction totals $5.7 billion, a 49% premium.
Wow.
Over Caesar's unaffected share price. So if you've got a share that's worth $100, he's paying you $149 for it. Yeah, that's an amazing 50%. Yeah, you take the deal. B Small says he knows a guy if you need to gamble. Yeah.
We got to go, folks. We're at the top of the hour.
All right, folks. We hope you have a great weekend. Be safe on the roads. Be good to your neighbor. And call Allen's Wrecker Service at 578-6300 if your neighbor pushes you into the ditch. Be good, brother. Oh, Rainforest Cafe. Good call, JP Hull. Thanks for the suite. Bye, folks.
Bye, folks.